Excuse me, I was muted for that entire intro by mistake. And if that ain't... Do I even want to... Welcome, heroes, villains, and morally questionable weirdos to Canon Clash. I'm your host, Sir Superhero, and I don't want to do the intro again. Zora, care to introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Zora, Legend of Zora, on pretty much all socials. Biggest one. That's my fire alarm. Somebody's burning up.
This is a great episode. So I'm loving this episode so far.
Quality content.
I mostly do movie, TV show, books, like deep dives and analysis on TikTok. I also do a lot of makeup. Really into nerd geek stuff, but on a lot of stuff it's very surface level. So I'm interested to see how I'm gonna do in this episode because I have certain hyperfixations in comics, and the rest of it is very general.
Excellent. Now, I've been asking every contestant this so far, and I will ask all three of you as well. Rate your current comics knowledge on a scale from 1 to 10 going into this episode.
So 10 is like a guru, and like 1 is
yes, 10 being the expert.
I say a solid 6.8. Maybe.
6.8, a very solid answer. Higher number than most people give on this show, so we'll see if you can back it up.
I'm like, I have a lot of knowledge about like the X-Men and like Spider-Man, and then everything else
there are, I believe, at least 2 X-Men questions today, so maybe that will serve you well. All right, and then moving on to our next contestant, someone who on this channel needs no introduction at this point, Nathan Apollo.
Hello, I don't do anything with comics or movies or TV. I make music as my full-time job. That's my whole thing. Yeah, you know who I am. Most of you in the chat know who I am. If you're a fan of Matt, you probably have at least heard of me.
And I will ask you the same question I asked Zora, though I do think I know the answer given what we were just discussing before we went to cameras, which I will throw you under the bus for. Rate your current comics knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10.
Big fat 0, gang. And I just revealed this to Matt, I have never actually read a comic book at all. So...
I genuinely do not know how you can be friends with me and have never read a comic. I don't know how sort of the reality worked out to make that happen. But whatever.
Look at everyone's background, though, and then look at his.
The signs have been here the entire time. I hate that I have to reveal this now, but listen back to any of the D&D dorks. Anytime Matt does a joke where Panda starts getting mad, I just smile and laugh because I don't know what's happening. And I act like I do, but I don't.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's move on from Nathan's great shame that we'll see if we can work with in this episode to our final contestant for this week, James.
Hi, I am Beauty Baba Yaga on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I do a lot of Power Rangers content. I make lore videos, I talk about fan theories, I make jokes, and I also do cosplay because that is my passion other than Power Rangers.
Okay, so then I guess I would ask you a slightly different version of the same question. Rate your comics knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10, but not including any Power Rangers comics you've read, because those are really good, and that is not within the scope of this show.
I haven't read any Power Rangers comics.
Really? That's another discussion for later.
So, you threw me because you came in with the confident 6.6.5?
Well, that's what I was like, I don't know what the metric is. Like, are we talking?
I was like, if one is a normal person who maybe like knows what comics are, then what am I, like 3 or a 4?
I was thinking of one as like they've not read a comic book, so that's why I was like slightly above the middle. It's what I was going off of like 0 to 1 being like you've never read a comic book, or like maybe you picked one up one time.
Or
you read Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
That's my shit. Now we're talking. Okay. Are there any Diary of a Wimpy Kid questions in this?
I'll have to check my list. Did I put Diary of a Wimpy Kid in this episode of Canon Clash? I don't think
Diary
so.
of a Wimpy Kid.
But I heard
Big
4.
Nate.
That one I know.
But anyways, so I was like, when
I'll
I put myself there, it's not like I think I'm a guru. It's just that I think I know about what most regular comic book people know, and then some, depending on like the subject matter.
All right, very confident. We will see how it pans out. And on that note, let me go into explaining the rules.
You didn't even give a number.
No, I heard 4.
You said 4.
Did I hear 4? Did I misunderstand?
I said 4. Yeah.
4? Oh, well, now I want to make mine
4.
lower. What the heck?
Nope, too late. Too late. You have locked in 6.8, and now you've got.
If you lose to me, it's all over.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's all over.
So let's see how confident you feel after we go into the rules. I guess I should also say this.
6.8 is a humble answer.
I would, if you are not looking at the stream, contestants, I would recommend pulling it up. I am going to show the names of the characters in question on the screen. You don't have to, but it helps if you would like to see that. Just on my Twitch, if you can have it open in another tab. The one thing I would say is if you do want to go and look at the Twitch chat, or look at the Twitch, don't look at the chat because people will be playing along at home. Don't want you getting any hints or anything like that. So, let me explain how this show is going to work. I'm going to present you with the name of a character and a little blurb of info about them that I have written up. From there on, your goal is to tell me whether this character is a real one that has actually been published in Marvel or DC Comics, or a fake one that I just entirely made up. Trust me, comics are weird enough that this is a harder decision than you might think, and really it all depends on what you think comics publishing executives are willing to greenlight. Spoiler, it's a lot more than you would think. Now, to get a little bit of help on these, there are 3 sort of hint lifelines that you can get for every question. Those 3 options are: option 1, I will visually describe the character's costume to you, what they're wearing, what they look like, etc., etc. Number 2, I will give you a little bit of publication information about the character, that being the name of the series where they debuted, and the year that they debuted, if you think knowing the era of comics might be a little bit helpful to get a sense of the vibe. And number 3, I will give you a fun fact about the character. It is a not randomly chosen fun fact. It's something I wrote, essentially just like an extra line of the basic
these hints
explanation.
Are going to be more confusing.
Yeah. Now, you get one of these hints every round. And the way that you're going to decide is that you 3 as a group are going to vote on which one you want. When the scores are split, the person with the lowest score will vote first, and then we will go up in that order. Now, notably, if you want to try to sabotage your competitors a little bit, if you think you know the answer, maybe vote for something that you think will be a little bit less helpful. And if all 3 of you vote for different hints, then you get no extra information. So if you're feeling confident and don't want to help out your contestants, that's what you want to go with. One final note, and then I believe we have all the rules set. This is something I like to say every episode, just to be clear. I have randomized the order of these questions. So, no psychological tricks or anything like that. Can't play any mind games with me because they are in a random order. Oh, and I guess one other thing. If the character is real, after the question is done and after everyone has voted, I will show a picture of them on the screen and for the chat and you guys if you want to see what they look like. So, on that note, does anyone have any questions, or are we ready to start Canon Clash?
Let's start clashing.
How and when do we vote? Do we?
Yeah, you guys can basically vote whenever you are ready. I will let you guys deliberate for as long as you want. If the episode starts going really long, I might cut your deliberation time short, but we won't worry about that now. When everybody is ready, I will just count you in 3, 2, 1 vote, and you all should have your little indicator things. You'll just hold them all up at the same time.
Cool.
All right. Everybody ready then to start on our first character?
Sure.
Our first character then is Primal. Marvel's mutant powers can really just be anything at this point, and Primal is a prime example of this. His power is basically that he is a caveman. He has superhuman strength, speed, and animal instinct at the cost of higher levels of thought, unless the situation demands it. His powers were eventually expanded to lean more into the instinct side of things, giving him the animal instinct to handle any social situation needed. To give an example of how far this can go, in one case, he suddenly developed impressive speaking skills and legal knowledge to win a court case. Primal, the essentially at this point, lawyer caveman. What are you guys thinking about Primal? Feel free to debate amongst yourselves. No one is in the lead score-wise so far, so there is no hint priority. You can decide what of those pieces of information you would like if you want a reminder on those. Just
going on. Yes.
I was like, that sounds real. Like, that's like, it's not ringing a bell, but it sounds like something, like a character that would exist. Definitely wouldn't be the weirdest one.
Like the designs, when the designs were kind of like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about this. I can see like Caveman being one of the X-Men, and you'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wouldn't be the weirdest, but then the paranoid part of me, it sounds so realistic.
It's so tough.
I started with one of the more tame ones. They get weirder as we go today.
It's like perfectly in the middle to where it's not out there enough to be, you know what I mean? But
right.
I'll go with yeah. I think that.
All right. If you would like a hint, you can get an extra piece of information, but you don't have to. If you guys are all feeling confident and want to go ahead to voting, that is an option.
Do y'all want to see what year?
Yeah, I'm kind of finding out when the comic book came out.
All right, cool. That's two people, so that vote goes through. This was in Uncanny X-Men in 2010. Now, of course, this could be false information, but if they're false information, I try to put in something that sounds a little off sometimes. Does this sound like something that would fit the vibe of a comic in 2010?
Now, this almost seems too campy for 2010. This feels like a golden age kind of character.
80s with that concept.
Yeah, so I was like, this doesn't seem... I don't know, I feel like in the 2010s they were trying to move towards more like, not grounded characters, but this almost now doesn't feel like it fits the vibe.
Oh, man.
Okay, so did the hint change your thought on this one? In that case, is everybody ready to vote?
I guess
so.
3, 2, 1, go!
That circle means real.
Green.
Okay, Nathan and James both say real. I like the hat indicators. Zora says fake. And Primal is 100% real. Marvel made the caveman guy in 2010.
That's wild.
His powers are even weirder than you would think, because there was this whole thing with this guy where, like, he's basically just like an animal, and so there was a lot of, like, ethics concerns with him being on a team, and so I think in an attempt to cover that, they made it so that, like, he is capable of higher thought, but just, like, chooses to be a caveman guy. It was a very weird arc. I don't like this character, but he's a good fit to start off an episode of Canon Clash, because he was certainly a weird one. Let me get these scores up.
See, like,
oh yeah, the pictures will come up on
my
just a second.
Only edge up in this competition is that I know you the best. And
yes, that is the thing. That is your leg up, is that you are part of my D&D
comic book
game.
shit out the window. I'm watching you read these off. I'm listening to the details. Like, this just sounds like something Matt would create, and that seems far too simple, actually, for you to create for me.
Like a BBC Sherlock type of thing, right? It's just like looking at the...
It's like, well, you replaced your hair when you said this sentence. So...
Okay, I'm gonna. Here, well, I'll just turn my camera off so that Nathan can't get any psychological clues. That did help Momo. She said that helped her last weekend.
That's all
we'll see if that.
That's all I got.
That's all you've got. All right. Well, in that case, if you're feeling confident, everybody ready to go on to the next question?
Good.
All right. The next character on Canon Clash Episode 5 is Baron Talon. Baron Talon was once a powerful sorcerer centuries ago, specializing in mind control and manipulating his subjects. He was eventually stopped, however, when another sorcerer turned him into a bird, preventing him from using his charming words on anyone else. That is, until much later, when he met the Falcon. Now, this part is true. This is a true fact, regardless of whether the rest of the question is not. Falcon in the comics can talk to birds. That is a power he has that the MCU just ignored. And since he can communicate with birds, the Baron was able to manipulate him, turning the Falcon into a puppet of an ancient bird wizard. Does that sound like something I'd make up, Nathan? How are you feeling about
that is a little bit more convoluted, and Baron might be a bird, which means that this could be a pun, which is also right up your alley.
That is also my thing. Now, Zora, you do have hint priority, so if you want to sort of lock in a vote first on what you think might be helpful.
What are the things again? Like the hint possibilities?
Yes. The first one is I will describe what the character looks like, their costume, any notable features, things like that. The second one is I will give you the series that they debuted in and the year that they debuted. And then the third one is a bonus fun fact, essentially just an extra line of explanation if neither of the others seem particularly helpful.
I want to say publication date, but that kicked my ass last time.
You got you second guessing yourself. You can't.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an overthinker at heart, but I think I would like to hear an extra fun fact. I would like to hear an extra factoid. What do y'all think?
I agree. I think fun fact hint is super overpowered in this game. I love the fun facts.
It is the general go-to for hints. The others are really there if like someone's
close.
Sort of confirm a suspicion or things like that. Yeah. Most of the time, fun fact is what people go for, but I have the others as an option to make things more fun. The fun fact for this one is very simple, though. If you've ever wanted to see Steve Rogers knock a bird out of the sky with his shield, look no further, because that is exactly how this guy was eventually taken down.
As someone who recently ran over a seagull...
That might have to, some variation of that's got to be the show title, I think. I recently ran over a seagull or something like that's show title contender right there.
It saw a piece of food on the other side of the road and decided it was worth the risk to take a dive bomb, and it was unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Well,
this one,
rip to that seagull,
this one feels
but
real. And it's like it might be messing with me because of the connection to the very real Sam Wilson fact. And I know that there has been a storyline that involved mind control and Sam Wilson, and I don't know if this is one of them, because I know that he was evil or something, or under someone's control at one point, and I don't know if it was this bear and bird guy, but that was a storyline that happened to him.
I don't know.
The best lies.
I was just going to say that. Best lies have a hint of truth,
thinking,
so...
Who knows? Who knows? Is everybody ready to vote?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
This shit's fake.
Nathan says fake, and then James and Zora both say real. Nathan, you had a 0 at the start. You are in the lead. I made this one up.
Oh.
Now there is a storyline, right, where Falcon gets mind controlled, and it's way worse. Because if I'm thinking of the right thing, and someone in chat will yell at me if I'm not, like he got mind controlled to like think he was a drug dealer, and it was like a whole bunch of very racist caricatures, which there are so many horrible things from like the 40s and 50s I could pull from this show. I have made the executive decision to stay away from racial stereotypes on this show, but my God, yes, see, that is a real thing that you were thinking of, and it is not a good storyline. Nathan, how does it feel to be in the lead on this
I'm in your
show?
head, man. I'm in there. I'm locked in. It seemed just a little too convenient that like
a little too convenient.
The fact that the mind control was real and a real fact just felt like a come on, it's real. And I was like, no.
This episode is now just comics knowledge versus me knowledge versus Matt knowledge.
That's willpower.
That's the game that's happening right now.
For the 20. You're gonna beat the high score.
The high score to beat is 18 right now. I don't know if I'm that lucky.
18.
Just get all of them.
18 last episode.
Hey, we're on a good track.
Like I said, I am not that deep into it.
Hey, I love having non-comics mutuals because that's how this show exists. Anyway, speaking of the weird things of the show, are we ready to get into the next question?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Do I want to... Sometimes I reveal the names halfway through the explanation if I think it has enough shock value. I'll save that for later. This next one is not Rocket Raccoon, but Racket Raccoon. The 1602 universe is one of Marvel's strangest. To be clear, 1602 is not just a universe number, it is the actual year where the stories take place. As such, the world contains 1600s versions of many popular characters, including, weirdly, Rocket Raccoon. The origins of Rocket Raccoon, as he's called in this world, are a mystery, but he seems to act like some sort of fey creature, trading people strange mechanical contraptions in exchange for payment. He also shares his main form's penchant for big weapons. He often wields a massive device that I can really only describe as a crossbow machine gun. Medieval Rocket Raccoon. Zora, you have first hint priority, and then James, you are up next. So Nathan, you do not get to decide hints, but I think you just go for fun fact every time anyway. So same enough.
I think I'm gonna do a fun fact on this one too. I feel
Fun fact.
I feel like I've heard the name Rocket Raccoon before, but like so much of this feels very like MCU Rocket, and so I don't know.
Oh, that's a good contrasting MCU Rocket to a different form, perhaps. All right, well, we'll do the fun fact. Rocket does sometimes casually mention that he used to run with a team, presumably some version of the Guardians, but we never actually see them on the page. Most notably, he's often found exclaiming, "By the Lord of the Stars," when startled.
By the Lord of the Stars.
Shit. I was like, okay, totally fake, but then that made me feel like it was more real.
I love this game, man. I love messing with people.
We're just trying to figure out if Rocket, I hate, sounds so dumb. Rocket Raccoon is a real character that is like a medieval arms dealer, basically.
A medieval arms... Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Medieval arms dealer Rocket Raccoon. Couldn't be named Rocket, obviously. They wouldn't know what that is.
I'm gonna go, yeah.
This one's the toughest one. This one's the toughest one for sure so far.
I don't know.
Hey, Nathan, This is my 5th episode. I'm starting to learn how to...
This one's tough.
Get people in unexpected ways.
I'm trying to... see, the problem is real writers also work on this stuff too. So, like, sometimes the convenient stuff is actually just, like, smart shit that they came up with.
Like, it's just like... Comic book writers can be very creative, but then also we have a spider person whose name is Charlotte Weber, so it's like...
So, like, where's the line?
Yeah. Oh, that could be a good thing for a future episode. I'll have to keep that in mind. You guys ready to vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Nathan says fake. James says fake. Zora says real. And Nathan... Your streak is continuing. You're 3 for 3. You are 3 for 3. Let me boost the scores up.
I quit.
Nathan going for the perfect.
How's that high feel?
I'm sweating on every pore of my body.
All right, so that means we are at Zora and James tied for 1 and Nathan at 3, correct? Did I type that in wrong?
I don't think, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I got a point, fam. I don't think
Did I mix it up? I might have mixed it up.
Yeah,
that might have been my
James got a point.
My mistake. My mistake.
James has 1. I don't have any, and you have 3 or 4 or something.
I have 3, yeah.
My score interface is just named by colors, not names,
shit.
so I mix it up sometimes when I'm typing it in.
Dude.
Nathan, though, you're doing good. You're doing good, bud.
So I think a good question to ask everyone is what made you decide officially on your thing? Like, James, why did you choose fake?
So you really sped up towards the end of the description with how fast you were talking. And I was trying to decide if A, you were nervous that it sounded suspiciously fake, or B, you knew it was real and you started to feel like it was boring, so you wanted to get through it. And I was like,
allow me to ease your worries. I didn't even really notice I did that.
Exactly.
That if you guys are starting to get into my head, I'm gonna have to.
Maybe I'm playing this game wrong. I gotta start.
This has never happened before.
I was not expecting also a psychology answer. I thought that was just me.
I'm gonna need to start wearing a. Hold on, wait, I have a...
Get a mask!
Zora, what made you say real?
I have a plastic bag here.
I don't know, I just feel like I've heard the name Rocket Raccoon before, and also, this is like completely different universe, but like there are, like Batman has like doesn't he have like a medieval like pirate version of himself? So I know that like medieval versions of characters exist. I thought that I heard the name Racket Raccoon before, but I couldn't remember if that was a thing or it was a meme. And like honestly, I was like, I don't know.
I'm wondering if less knowledge actually helps here, because we have nothing to second guess ourselves with. It's just because like for me, what it was By the Lord of the Stars, again, sounded way too convenient. I was like, somebody could have written that, but that also sounds like something Matt would write. And the other thing was Matt described Racket Raccoon as Fae, and I was like, that's D&D.
Nathan. Okay, Nathan is in my head. Also, someone in chat said Matt has tells when he lies. I can tell when he lies. He's not sure. You don't know what I'm talking about. You have no idea who I am. Why are you saying these things?
Parasocial relationships go crazy.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like, anyway, are we ready for the next question? If you guys start profiling me more, I'm gonna get my Spider-Man mask. I'm gonna put it on for the rest of the episode. You guys don't get any clues. All right, let's go on to the next one then, which is Pantha. And yes, I am pronouncing that right. You might want to look at the spelling on this one. Pantha seems simple on first glance, but is a bit of an enigma. She appears as a sort of werecat, which is a decently common archetype in comics, but her origin casts some level of shadow on that. It is a recurring plot point that no one, not even Pantha herself, knows whether she was born a human and spliced with cat genes, or born as a cat and then spliced with human genes. Regardless of this confusion, she joined a hero team and used her powers for good, and the question of what her origin actually was never answered.
That's so funny.
So it's either a werecat or a werehuman?
I'm just thinking.
Essentially, yes.
I'm like, if man-bat exists,
there was a time in comics where they were like really obsessed with splicing. Like there was like a whole period where a bunch of like heroes.
Yeah.
But I feel as if Pantha is a real character, and I think
I'm getting that vibe at first too. Yeah.
If I keep saying yes, one of them has to be correct.
It's a 50-50 shot.
It's randomly generated, so it's 50-50 shot every time.
Pantha sounds like a real character to me. I didn't know about the whole, is it a cat or is it a human? The world may never know.
But that description is so Man-Bear-Pig from South Park, which makes me feel like it's been pulled from some other media context.
Yeah, I've never watched South Park like that.
I have put a Pokemon in this as a fake before. I just described a Pokemon as a superhero, so
that would have.
I've pulled some shit before.
I don't know anything about Pokemon other than the basic few. I just pick the ones that are the cutest. So.
Do you guys want a hint on anything? You can vote on that if you would like more info. But if you're confident,
I'm last in line, so
I can't decide.
If y'all can't decide, I think year would actually help here. I feel like we don't know the origin is very like early comic book stuff, like that they won't care as much to write the origin.
Okay, all right, fine, yeah. Let's get the year in publication.
All right, year in publication. Pantha appeared first in New Titans, which was a Teen Titans book, to be more specific, in 1991. Does this sound like an edgy 90s thing?
Honestly,
all right, I'm ready.
If you guys are ready, all right. 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody says real, and everybody gets a point. Yes! Pantha is definitely real. I actually put her in this game because of the fun fact, which I decided to leave as a fun fact and not the origin. You want to know why it was never actually answered whether she was a cat or a person? It was because she fucking died, and she died by getting backhanded in the face so hard that it decapitated.
Holy shit!
Which is fucking insane.
Who did that?
It was like a Superboy Prime or like one of the bullshit Superman offshoots. Dang. Was
he trying to kill her?
Oh yeah, he's a bad guy. He's got Superboy in the name, but he is not a nice man.
To kill someone through like a backhand is so like
that's crazy.
Bro, just
You say attempted. He succeeded.
Kill me like, but I'm saying like that was the goal. Was like I'm gonna kill you, but I'm gonna like just kill me like a normal person.
Don't disrespect me while I go out.
Mortal Kombat, when you can't get the fatality right, so you just like kick them in the leg or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, man, like I said at the beginning, the stuff that gets greenlit in comics it's something. Are we ready to go on to the next question? See if Nathan can get to 25% without breaking a streak.
I mean, if we're talking just statistics, my luck's gonna run out pretty soon.
Maybe it's not just statistics. Maybe it's psychology.
I felt fairly confident on that one for reasons I can't explain. But
I don't know. It just seemed real.
it just seemed real.
This had real vibes.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if the next one has real vibes. It is a difficult one to pronounce, but I'll do my best on it. Liesel Pawn. I'm just going to throw us into this one. Liesel Pawn is a super intelligent smallpox virus dedicated to the pursuit of justice. Yes, justice. You heard that right. The sentient virus is not a villain and is in fact a member of the Green Lantern Corps. How that works logistically, I'm not going to worry about, but it's worth noting that Liesel is not just some throwaway background character. He does actually matter in the storyline and even has a nemesis, which is another sentient virus that has a yellow lantern ring. Green Lantern Smallpox. What are we thinking?
I want another fact. I need another fact.
Another fact? If you guys want to lock that down right now, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I also might need a reread of what the fuck you just said.
That sounds so insane, but it makes me feel like it's correct. But I don't know. Give me my fun fact. What is it?
All right. Here, what I'll do if Nathan wants a reread, I will just read the whole thing and then I'll add the extra line at the end.
Let me hear this again, because what?
Liesel Pawn is a super intelligent smallpox virus that is a member of the Green Lantern Corps. And he also has a nemesis that is another sentient virus, which is a member of the Yellow Lantern Corps, or Sinestro Corps, I think they're technically called. The extra fun fact, despite being both sentient and a pretty nice guy overall, Liesel is just as dangerous as a normal smallpox virus and has to be kept separate from most of the other Green Lanterns because of it.
Does a small virus wear a ring?
That one, whether real or fake, I don't have that for you.
I'm glad you read that again, because I wasn't fully grasping that Liesel Pawn is a virus.
Wait.
Yes, not a person with a virus, is the virus.
Ring. Is it like, is it tetanus? Like, what is...
Let me explain to you guys how my doc works here. I write up these little blurbs beforehand, and I have a master doc of them. So it's not like I'm looking at the wiki pages. I don't have every piece of information real or fake.
Questions like, is he like circle with weird fucking things out, and he's a virus?
If you want, well, if you had asked for the visuals,
see the picture.
That's true.
That is true. This could have been one where maybe the visual would have helped.
So I also, and this might bite me in the butt with like the psychoanalyzing thing, but y'all are doing it. But the fact that you didn't know how to pronounce it, I'm like, did you really not know how to pronounce it, or did you pick a word that seemed difficult to pronounce? Be like, oh, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Let me say this, and this is entirely true. I have used random name generators to just make like aliens before on this show. So, because it's not like these are like something that I hear, whether real.
I got
or
my
fake.
choice,
like
and the bearing on my choice is fucking paper thin, but I got it.
Paper thin. Okay. In that case, let's go. 3, 2, 1, vote. Nathan says fake. The other two say real.
Please.
And on question 5, Nathan's streak fails.
Fuck.
A real thing.
He is a blob.
The ring.
He's a blob.
Yeah, the ring's on the inside. The ring is on the inside.
On the inside.
Well, I gotta get
Are you
that check.
serious?
The ring's on the inside.
Oh my god. Okay, so my logic was that Liesel Pawn sounded way too much like measles, which is another virus. And so I was like, I think, because I've done that shit before where I'm like, he's a disease guy. What's a disease? Change one letter. And that's the new name. And so like, fuck.
Nope. Also, if in case you were wondering why I use that specific phrasing in the question, you can see on the page it's Liesel Pond is a super intelligent smallpox virus and he wants justice. I took that from the book. That was not my paraphrase.
There's a certain hilarious... So is it the thing that makes... Because I'm not a DC person. Is it Green Lantern's like willpower? So is it like...
Yeah, Green Lanterns are willpower.
So is it like his like will to fight against the vaccinations?
Fuck if I know, man. The evil one is a fear ring. And it's explicit said like people are scared of the virus, so he gets power from that. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know where the willpower virus gets his shit from, but I don't have to know because I did not make it up. That one is a real thing. Green Lanterns are wild, man. Green Lanterns go... Well,
now that's just a piece of trivia I have. I'm gonna be like, did you guys know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, see, that's why I do this show, so that you can scare your friends with the weird shit that comic books have in them.
Does he have his own run? Or is he just like a character that pops up? Like, is it like Spider? Is it like Peter Porker, where he like actually has like an...
To my knowledge... because I've not read the comics that he is in 5 issues of Green Lantern, so I think he's like there's an arc where they're fighting the evil virus, I believe, and he is in that one.
That's so... I have to look this up afterwards. That is so funny.
Yeah, I need to read it too. I really need to read more Green Lantern. And speaking of green, that's actually a coincidentally good transition. Let's go to our next question, which is... Moneybag. Moneybag has a power that could be very strong or very weak, depending on how you interpret it, I guess. Simply put, he can control money. Now, you might think that's cool, as it would give him a lot of influence over a very capitalist society. So let me clarify what I mean by this. He can control physical money, like coins and bills and stuff. He can move it with his mind and often uses it as weapons. So he'll like shoot coins at people as attacks or use flurries of bills to give like paper cuts and stuff. It does have its uses though. At the very least, he's really good at robbing banks.
Wow.
What do we think about Moneybag?
Wait, did we hear whether this was a hero or a villain?
I did not actually say in the description, but the last line does says he robs banks, so that
like,
one kind of does.
He could be like a Robin Hood kind of guy. Like, is he like robbing from the banks and like distributing the wealth to the masses?
Yeah.
I will tell you that this character is a villain.
Okay.
Moneybag. He's a money bender.
Moneybag. He's a money bender.
Money guys.
Do you want a hint? Because I don't. Do y'all want a hint? Because I don't.
I want to know the publication because I think what hero they go along with could really determine what type of villains are in that like comic.
That rogues gallery. Okay.
It's really up to you, Zora.
You guys want to go along with that or swap to another one?
You got priority.
The publication date would help.
Yeah.
I will go with the publication date. I'm curious.
All right. So the series is probably not too surprising because who else but a super millionaire to put this guy up against? It is Batman in 1972.
72?
72. It's probably not as much a capitalism critique as you might have thought.
Okay.
If it's in the 70s.
So now that I know it's in the 70s, now I'm thinking maybe not. Because I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not super into DC. But I feel like a lot of Batman's more classic villains are pretty grounded in reality. Like... Mr. Freeze is like the Freeze, you know, like I mean, I don't know.
Gritty realism, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't see like 70s Batman having a guy that controls money, and like I also feel like it's I don't know.
Not a lot of Batman villains actually have superpowers too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense because he doesn't as well. So if you give somebody too many powers, then it's always like a gadget or a toxin or a
that's what I was like.
This is my money gun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't think this one. I don't think.
All right. So the hint seems to have changed some minds on this one. Is everybody ready to vote?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody says fake, and that's on me because I haven't really read a lot of Batman books, so maybe I shouldn't try to make Batman fakes. Good hint on that one. I guess I just didn't hit the vibes right. Good job, everybody. This one is fake. I just thought that the money bending concept was stupid.
If you told me Superman, I would have thought it was real.
Yeah, I would have believed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair. Look, you guys are scaring me now. You're doing the psychoanalysis and everything. You're taking this so seriously. I'm terrified.
Psychoanalysis of comics, not of you. I was just like, Batman does not have like, especially.
Very true.
Batman.
Very true.
This was like back detective Batman days.
All right. Well, the next one is a little less grounded. I'll say that. So let's go on to Rainbow Raider. It's not Pride Month anymore, but I still put this one in here. Rainbow Raider was once a completely colorblind artist, the son of a scientist who vowed he would somehow create a device to let his son see the color of the world. And he missed this goal so badly, and somehow, instead of creating any sort of colorblindness cure, created goggles that can project constructs of light into the real world, turn the wearer invisible, and weirdly affect people's emotions as just an extra power, I guess. Lots of cool things. None of which accomplished the seemingly far easier goal of curing colorblindness. So in his anger, the boy took the goggles and turned to a life of crime as the Rainbow Raider.
He turned to crime after this?
Oh yeah, this is a bad guy.
Man.
This is a bad guy.
Homophobic. Crime.
Pair of goggles.
Pair of goggles.
I have to know.
Can't see color, but he can do all sorts of shit.
The date and the reason. Well, go ahead and tell me the publication date, and I'll tell you the reason why I want to know.
All right, you two can override if you want to. It is still voting. You want to agree if one of you agrees, or you can override.
Well, I'll take a publication, sure. It's not going to help me.
All right. This is from The Flash in 1980.
Okay. So now, reasons why okay. So I was on the side of fake until you said that it was basically he was trying to cure his kid's colorblindness, because comics are full of that,
That's true.
Miguel O'Hara trying to
that
cure
is true.
cancer and making a bug monster thing. I think Slade's original mutation was supposed to be truth serum. It is full of I'm gonna try to cure this disease, but come up with something that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm trying to do.
That is true. It's a very common trope though. So is it one that I played on?
You saying that it's the 80s on top of that, it's I don't know. It definitely seems like they were into very campy villain motivations to be oh man, my dad tried to cure my ability. I don't know. I think it's real.
This is so tough because me knowing nothing, being able to project images sounds very Green Lantern to me. And so I don't know if that's doing a cheap hack of something else is not uncommon, I'm sure. But
no.
Powers, it was project light images, invisible, and something else. Oh, it affects people's emotions.
Yeah.
Man, that.
A wide spread of things, none of which are curing colorblindness. I'm glad I've got Nathan.
So he's still colorblind.
Yeah,
he's still colorblind. Yes, he did not get the colorblindness cure.
Incredible.
And if that helps, let's go ahead. Everybody ready to vote? In 3, 2, 1, go. Nathan says real, Zora says real, James says fake, and Nathan's getting back on a streak. Rainbow Raider is real.
Oh my god.
Apparently he's in the Flash show. People were saying that in chat. I did not know that.
He made it to live action?
He is in the Flash show. I had no idea, genuinely.
The first 2 seasons of The Flash.
Wow.
I have not seen the later seasons, so I guess he's in a later one.
He's not in the chat. Oh my god.
Holy
I think, you put his picture. Yeah, that's a very 80s design for sure.
Yeah, it's, Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. We missed it by a day.
That's really all I have to say about this. Yeah, I should have put him in. Wait, he's in the first season? People are saying. All right, apparently, I didn't remember this at all, and I have seen that show.
Well then,
all right, that's okay. Hold on. I can do a Google search live.
Live Google search.
Let's find out. Rainbow Raider CW Flash. Not that I'm calling my viewers a liar, but
we're gonna fact check this. All good nerd shows have fact checkers.
Yeah, that is true. We got it. They have it on actually, and so of course we need to have it now.
My boyfriend loves our show.
Okay. Apparently, apparently in this one, he only has the ability to manipulate emotions that I have seen, which does... Yeah, he only has... that's probably why it was less recognizable, because I feel like that is his least...
I haven't seen season 1 of
notable
Flash
power.
since it was actually on air, so...
He also looks super boring. Hold on, I'm gonna put a picture of the Flash version on the screen.
They always gotta de-acidify them and bring them to live action.
De-acidify?
Yeah, he looks...
Look at him!
He looks boring as hell.
What?
He's just a guy with weird eyes. I don't know why he's...
Why did they give
That's
him,
disappointing. I'm disappointed.
They gave him the eyes that they gave Sean Yu in the Mulan movie.
They did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Why is he gray?
Heck if I know. We gotta move on. I don't know. This man's making me sad. I don't like Rainbow Raider anymore. I wish I'd done a different character. But there is a funny coincidence in this next one. Coincidence.
Sorry. Go.
Yeah, he's still called Rainbow Raider, but he just doesn't. He only has the emotion powers. I don't know. I'm not responsible for that one. So go send your complaints to @the CW on Twitter. Anyway. Moving on to the next one, we actually have 2 emotional manipulation characters in a row. But again, this is randomized, so don't take that as any sort of hint, because the next one is Madam Mood Swing. Controlling people's emotions can be a very helpful power, as I guess we just found out with Rainbow Raider, but only when you can control said power as well. The mercenary known as Madam Mood Swing cannot do that. She can cause people to feel strong emotions, but the emotion felt is random every time. She could send somebody into peaceful happiness, uncontrollable rage, whatever, and no one, not even her, knows what's going to happen each time she uses her power. And, making things worse, the power also affects her emotions every time she uses it, making her a totally unpredictable and largely unhelpful wild card.
Here's where I'm gonna bring in the psychoanalysis.
I don't know.
No, this
don't do that, actually.
Of comic book misogyny, and I think really highly of Matt to not make that up, because he said that.
Well, you know what? Okay, maybe we can do a little bit of psychoanalysis.
That he was strange.
Maybe we can do a little
racial
psychoanalysis.
Stereotypes. I don't know. This just really feels like classic.
That is kind of true. Yeah, the whole women are emotional thing, like
this.
The name is pretty cut and dry.
Like, as soon as I heard Madam Mood Swing, I was like, oh, good lord.
The name is pretty cut and dry.
I would be, you guys are free to override, but I would be curious about a publication and date, because I think that would also help. Because, like, if you're like, oh, this is 2020, I'm like, there's no way. Make this character.
At the very most, it would have to be a parody character.
How low will Matt go to foil us?
Yes.
How low? Like, I will say, the hints...
win, or...
Look. In the spirit of... Yeah, you guys are treating this as a team game, and I don't like it. It's not you versus me. You guys are fighting each other. Stop. I will say also, in the spirit of fairness to psychoanalysis, all the hints are, of course, pre-written. They're on my doc as well. I'm not changing them based on your theories here, so you can choose what you would like here.
I don't get a say in this one.
Publication and date, but...
What were you saying, Zora?
I think I want to know the year and what comic run this is a part of, because I feel like that would be really helpful. This is a very tone-deaf character, and I need to know what year this character was supposedly created.
Well, now you get the fun debate of trying to figure out if this is a tone-deaf character or a parody character in some sense, because this was in a Deadpool book in 2014.
You said 2014?
2014 Deadpool.
Darn, now that does make it difficult.
Now, what if it's satire? Fuck.
It could be satire.
Man, I thought we had you on lock until that.
Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna go ahead and make you guys vote then. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Nathan says fake, Zora says fake, James says real. Zora, I'm glad you had so much faith in me. I was totally playing off of the very well-established comic book misogyny tropes that I do know exist. Not real. Not real. The scores are still pretty tight, though. Nathan, you're killing it.
On track to get the new high score.
You're on track for that 18. You could. It is still 100% a possibility.
I can't get it perfect, but I can get a new high score.
557 is what we're at right now. Let's see who is next. Actually, another kind of funny coincidence that came off of the randomization here. I didn't really think of that when I was setting this PowerPoint up. But hey, that's going to make it even funnier to psychoanalyze is a hard word to say. Moving on to the next character, which is Rose Tattoo. The woman known as Rose Tattoo is probably not what you'd expect from the name. She is, to put it simply, a living embodiment of the concept of murder. As such, she is very powerful. However, a lot of this power is undermined by how exactly her story arc went. Specifically, after appearing in the comics, she immediately fell in love with a regular human man and then just did whatever he wanted until she died, setting back the reputation of comic fans as sexist several years in the process. So you think I would pull the fake sexism trope twice in one episode? See, I'm messing with the psychology here.
So...
I came prepared for this at least a little bit.
If she's the living embodiment of murder, that's not a superpower. That's just...
What does living embodiment of murder even mean? Is she like a god?
Yeah, she kills a lot of stuff.
Or is she like death? But like murder.
My document says the living embodiment of murder. I either made that up myself or copied it from a wiki. I mean, I'm not telling you anything else.
Like murder created a person from the ether, and that's Rose Tattoo, which would just be a person.
This is another one where I know the year in publication.
Their name is Rose, surname Tattoo.
The name that I have written here is Rose Tattoo. I'm going to be honest, again, whether I copied this from a wiki or made it up myself, I do not know the actual breakdown of what the name is meant to be. If it's supposed to be first name, last name, or some sort of weird code name,
you don't have to answer if you didn't say it already, but they're not a hero or a villain. They are just somebody's partner.
I have not said that. And because I think that's interesting and funnier to keep secret, I will not give any more insight.
I want to know, and again, this is a voting thing, but I want to know the year in publication.
Yeah, I like year in publication. I feel like it spices things up.
Year in publication, then. This is in a comic called Stormwatch from 1996. So... Not Deadpool 2014.
This is so darn tough.
Good.
Rose Tattoo.
I don't want somebody getting 18 again. It's too easy.
Somebody get this man a job.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Seriously. You guys are ready?
No, but here we go.
3, 2, 1, go anyway. Nathan says fake. James says fake. Zora says real. And I am so genuinely sorry on behalf of the comic book community to say real, actually real.
Shit.
She is like, her costume is not good, so I'm not gonna leave it on the screen for
wow.
very long. But that is, she is like a murder goddess who just fell in love with like a dude and then was basically just like his pawn.
Man, what traditional conservative Republican wrote
sold
this?
It for me was the name and the year, because I'm like, this sounds like some like edgy noir like 90s.
It's from the Wildstorm universe, which is a DC imprint that is just the the stereotypes of 90s comics bullshit. A lot of those came from this.
Is it similar to like the way Dark Horse is to DC? I'm not like super familiar with that side of the
It's basically just I'm not super familiar with Wildstorm because it sucks. I'm never reading it. But a general way I could describe it is it's like like another brand that DC also publishes. That's what it's another universe, another brand, and it's sort of separate. Someone else could explain it better than me because I know how imprints work, but I don't specifically know how.
Isn't that the Twilight thing? I can't.
Wait, I don't know Twilight.
Don't worry about it. Never mind.
Don't worry about it? Okay.
Deep cut.
Okay, someone in charge. It was its own thing, and now it's something that DC owns, so that makes sense. It was another company that thus got absorbed into DC, which does make some level of logical sense. Are we ready to go on to the next one? Not a sexist character, thank God.
What question is this?
I was gonna say we're talking a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to speed us up a little bit. I could, I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll do like a bonus. I don't have to move the goalpost. We'll see how long things go, but maybe I can swap out one of the last questions for like a speedier bonus round. Save it for next week. I'll figure something out. I'm glad that you guys are debating and psychoanalyzing me, which I don't love, but it's an engaging episode. Wait. We did lose a camera, so let me see. Oh no, you're all good. If we can still hear you, which I think we can, then that is fine.
That is the most important part.
That is the most important part. I'll go ahead. Do you know what's up and... Well, whatever. If we can see if that comes in, I'll go ahead and read the next question, and then if it doesn't come in, we've had to deal with people answering without a camera before. I know how to make it work. So we will move on to the next question then, which is, dare I say, one of my favorite names on the list, whether I made it up or whether it was one that I found somewhere. That would be Groove Master. The villain known as Groove Master has a great superpower. He can turn himself into living sound, allowing him to ignore a lot of the laws of physics as he commits his various crimes. Now, that's kind of par for the course when it comes to comics. There are a lot of sound-based villains, far too tame for this show. So let me add a very important bit of context. Groove Master couldn't just turn into any sound pattern he wanted. He could, specifically and exclusively, turn himself into disco music.
Year. I have to, is it 70s character? Oh. Do y'all want year or do y'all want to do something else?
Knowing the publication is so helpful because thinking about the context of what hero they paired with. I'm publication and year.
Same.
Publication and year then. That's been helpful when you guys are really using that date to try to narrow down the vibes. This was a Spider-Man character, and probably don't even have to say this, 1975.
Groove Master,
smack in the middle of that era.
All I'm thinking is you threw off the Empress groove.
He threw off my groove.
Groove Master. He can turn himself into disco music.
One of those things that's so trite that it could either just be a product of its time or completely made up.
Yeah, it's like, of course the Groove Master is in 1975.
That's what the show is for.
And he was a Spider-Man villain.
I'm leaning towards real just because their Spider-Man villains are so preposterous.
All right. You guys want another second? Well, we don't have a lot of time. We're going to go through, so maybe we'll cut a few questions off the end, but we'll make it work. I'll do some bonus rounds or something. I'll have you guys go ahead and vote now then. 3, 2, 1. Nathan says real. James says real. Zora says fake. This is just too 70s to even be something from the 70s.
I knew it.
I played off the trope. See, you're and I kept wanting to say psychoanalysis, which is wrong. I'm just gonna shut up and stop saying that word. You can't do your mind games on me. See?
I told you.
Now I will say this.
I know is Spider-Man, and I'm like, I do not. That's not even. I know Spider-Man. I'm like, that is not a Spider-Man.
Well, let me say this. This is very loosely based on a real villain named the Hypno Hustler, who is a disco villain, and I'm about to make people either very, very happy or very, very sad, supposedly, unless the project gets canceled, which I suppose it could. Hypno Hustler is getting a movie.
I heard about that.
The same line
a solo project?
as... Yes. Which I thought was going to be the stupidest thing in the world, and then... they announced that it was going to be produced by and starring Donald Glover, and now I'm hyped because he's going to be self-aware about it, and it's going to be very, very funny.
Is Hustler a Spider-Man villain, though?
Spider-Man and Deadpool, I believe. He's just kind of in that New York street-level villain sphere where he just kind of interacts with everybody. You know, he's one of those.
This project. I mean, we are amid a writer's strike, but if it is something
it was an older one here.
Zora made a massive comeback.
Right. Zora and Nathan are now tied up.
I stopped overthinking.
We stopped
overthinking and just roll with it. I love it.
I
absolutely
dropped this link in my
love
group
it.
chat, and I have a massive fear that they're all in the chat. Like, I'm gonna hear about this when I get back to the group chat. I can feel it.
Maybe I shouldn't say this then, but I have seen a bunch of people actively hyping you up in the chat this whole time. So I don't know if those are people that you know personally or if you just have a bunch of fans in my audience.
I pray that Avery is not in there because Avery is like a Flash guru, and
Hey, Avery, is there an Avery in the chat? Can I see if there's an Avery? If you're in the chat, say hi.
Oh boy.
Say hi. We'll see how this is gonna go.
Job and obligations, unlike me.
It's cool. It's cool. They can watch it. They can watch it on YouTube after the
It's true.
Anyway, let's move on. Yes, we are behind. Yeah. We might have to cut like the last. I'll figure something because I want to give Nathan a fair shot at highest score. But regardless, let's move on to the next one.
It's already too late for me now. I've gotten.
We could just do speed round.
I could just do speed round. Here, let's go through the next one. See how long things take. The next one is Coal Car. This is one where I probably should not speed through the explanation. I can't. If I talk too fast, you're gonna get lost on this one. Aliens coming to Earth and wanting to challenge the greatest warriors is a pretty common trope in comics. Aliens wanting to be taken to the leaders of Earth is an even more common trope, but rarely are the two combined. Yet that is exactly what happened with Coal Car. This alien king came to Earth to challenge Earth's heads of state in single combat and was able to abduct them before the Avengers could stop him. The superheroes did eventually make it to rescue the leaders of Earth, of course, as Coal Car was stalled by a very wild scene. An actual fist fight between the alien conqueror and President John F. Kennedy.
This is real.
Can you spell Coal Car? Spell the name?
I can, yes. It's on the screen. It is Kolkarr.
That makes so much sense because I was imagining COAL space car, and so I was imagining like a sentient train car.
Fair. But no, it is one word.
Insane.
Kind of made up alien name.
Real. This is insane.
Yeah,
do y'all want a hint of some sort, or do you want to just vote?
I think we should just vote. Let's speed it up.
All right.
In that case, 3, 2, 1, go. You all seem confident. I don't need to count you in. Everybody says real. Gotcha.
Boo.
Gotcha. Now, Marvel does have a history of presidents being a thing. There's a bunch of zombie presidents. Obama teamed up with Iron Man once. It's rooted in truth.
Damn.
It is rooted. Well, was it Spider-Man? Obama teamed up with somebody. It does happen. But I figured that fist fighting JFK was just crazy enough that it might be believable.
I wanted it to be real.
Right, because that's what
it was Spider-Man. It was.
That is what made me think it was real. Was that they love JFK?
Literally.
They love JFK.
Like, I feel like whenever they want to use like the U.S. president, like a option that usually won't be problematic to most is usually John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, everyone loves John F. Kennedy.
And I knew that. Also, just for proof, I did go ahead and really quick paste into the stream chat. That is a real comic. The Obama Spider-Man one is 100% real.
God.
So again, it is a lie, classically rooted in a little bit of truth.
Well, now I want to be in a comic book. What the heck? I want to team up with Spider-Man.
I would say some other really weird team-ups that have happened, but I think I'm going to save them for future episodes, and so I'm not going to say everyone in chat. Watch future episodes.
But I was like, what if I give a hint to a later question?
All right, we have a few more up. This is one where I'm definitely going to reveal the name at the end, so I'll go ahead and start the explanation now without putting the question on the board. Crime does not pay, especially not for mob boss George Dyke, a recurring foe of Batman, but somewhat surprisingly a normal human with no powers or gadgets to speak of, just a regular guy. As such, Batman caught him fairly easily and sent him to prison, where he received the death penalty. Or at least he was supposed to, but as a last resort, George arranged for his brain to be surgically transferred into another body, but not a human body. And in that process, he became Gorilla Boss. And I think from there, I probably don't need to explain the concept any further.
Doesn't DC already have 2 gorilla-themed villains?
Gorilla Grodd is a thing, yes. This is not Gorilla Grodd. This is Gorilla Boss.
Monsieur Mahler or something?
Oh yeah, you're right. I did forget about Mala, but he's in Doom Patrol, so yeah, I did forget about Mala.
So now the question comes: would they really have a third gorilla?
They've got Mala, they've got Gorilla Grodd. Do they need Gorilla Boss?
Comedy comes in threes.
Off of that does seem very like comic book is to remove your body and put it into a gorilla. I'm curious. Now I'm wondering if I want a fun fact or a publication date. Because I feel like that is bizarre.
It's actually
thing of comics. Like I could see this being a thing in any year of comics, really. I feel like I want an additional fact.
James gets first pick on
yes, that is true. The priority has shifted.
I also think that I want an additional fact. I just feel like Gorilla Boss is too good of a name to be real.
Okay. This is one of the wilder fun facts on this list. This is like a 90-degree turn. This was not actually the only brain transplant that George would have. At a later point, his brain was extracted, somehow grown to planet-sized, and then Superman had to fight it.
All right,
the
man.
brain grew, or like
the brain? Yes. So he was a mob boss who went into a gorilla, and then the brain got pulled out and became a planet, and then Superman punched it. Real thing from comics, or was I running out of time to finish writing the questions? You decide.
It's real.
Well, we'll say. All right. Vote in 3, 2, 1. Nathan says fake. Zora and James both say real. Real.
Boo!
Nathan was so confident, and now Zora has pulled ahead. Yeah, Gorilla Boss, I put him on here both because, one, that's cool as hell, and two, I feel like it sounds like an off-brand Gorilla Grodd. It feels like I came in and was like, I'm gonna make a character that's just not Gorilla Grodd, and no, it's Gorilla Boss, and I don't even know, man.
I think the fact is what pushed me towards real, though, because I'm like, that sounds ridiculous enough to have happened.
I actually abbreviated that storyline because it's much longer, but if I said the whole thing, I would have to, it would kind of throw off the fact. It was Sinestro that pulled his brain out. I don't really know why Sinestro got involved, but it was Sinestro that pulled his brain out and turned it into a planet thing. I don't get Gorilla Boss.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
I don't get Gorilla Boss.
I was thinking when you brought him up, I was like, this villain seems kind of grounded in reality. And then you kept going. I'm like, never mind.
The fun fact actually threw me off. It's like Superman punches brain. Okay, dude. Okay.
Superman punched his brain. All right, moving on quick to the next one. And this is one that I would recommend looking at the spelling of if you are not on the Twitch channel right now. Because it is Mailman. Mailman hyphenated. Juggernaut is a decently popular character, and his powers are well known. He's unstoppable once he gets moving, no matter who or what stands in his way. What's less known is where the powers come from, a magical artifact called the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm talking so much about Juggernaut in this question, and it's because this question revolves around a story in which Juggernaut lost that gem that gave him his powers, and it ended up in the hands of regular mailman Dan Brinkley. Using his new unstoppable power, Dan became Mailman and used his new abilities to deliver mail slightly faster and more reliably, I guess. The best part about this story is that it was a one-shot comic sponsored by the United States Postal Service. So you better believe that the metaphors for the mail being reliable are not subtle in the slightest.
Wait, you get first one though, James. What do you think?
Yes, James. Actually, yeah. Sorry, my scoreboard was
leaning towards fun fact on this one.
I'll take a fun fact.
Okay, well.
All right.
Far be it from me.
Fun fact it is that. See, the hint mechanic works. It does things sometimes. Interestingly, Marvel actually already has a mailman character, Willie Lumpkin, the mailman to the Fantastic Four. He's fairly popular. He was one of Stan Lee's first movie cameos. Never appears in this book. I don't know why they didn't just use their established mailman guy, but...
All right.
Okay.
All right, if we got to go through these if we want to hit enough questions, fine. So I'm going to have you guys vote. 3, 2, 1, go on Mailman. Every single person says real. Nope.
Ah.
Mailman was actually a concept made up by Haley, who was on last week. I was a mailman superhero that I refined. Stupid nonsense partnerships that are like PSA comics. Those do happen. Those do happen. Those are 100% real, but this is not one of them. This is just something that I thought would be funny. And I knew at least one person, I saw this happen in chat, if not you guys, I knew one person would be thrown off by Willie Lumpkin, because Willie Lumpkin is a character that people do know.
Because I was like, why would he bring up his own inconsistency if he made this up? But...
Because you can't psychoanalyze me, Zora. Because I'm smart on this show.
He's known the whole time. He's 2 steps ahead.
Now, from a character where I try to do a little bit of psychological tricks to one who's just... His name's Dr. Crocodile. The man who would become known as Dr. Crocodile was once a normal government agent tasked with managing a group of magically altered humans known as Warpies. This went well until a mission did not go so well, and he encountered a child with the power to blow himself up. And then the kid just blew up in the guy's face. Horribly wounded, the agent was outfitted with an array of cyborg parts and weapons, becoming both the king of his small nation and the powerful figure known as Dr. Crocodile. Why he went with the name Dr. Crocodile, I'm not actually sure.
Wait, he's not a crocodile?
He's not a crocodile.
No, he's a cyborg.
That's why I was confused. I feel like I want to know where he appeared, because I need context for like what kind of universe or team.
How dark is the universe?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because I was like,
how dark is the universe? Okay. It is a very dark concept.
Publication and year.
Sure. Yeah.
I assume Zora will confirm that. Captain Britain in 1985.
Well, that did nothing.
Yeah, I don't think Nathan, did you even know that there was a character named Captain Britain? Because real or fake, Captain Britain is a real thing.
That did not help at all, but cool.
Okay.
Dr. Crocodile.
Is that the same? Is Captain Britain the same person that we saw in What If, the show?
No.
I don't think so. Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Because I don't think so. Oh, no, you're thinking of Captain Carter. Captain Carter is kind of inspired by Captain Britain in some ways, not connected. Captain Britain, you'd think he'd be like British Captain America. Right. He is way... Maybe I should give more information before you guys vote. I'm going to shut up. You guys vote.
Okay, I'm ready.
Context. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
All right, Zora says real, and the other two say fake. Zora pulls even farther ahead. Dr. Crocodile's real.
They wasted Doc Croc on someone who isn't a crocodile?
Wait,
I don't know why. If someone knows in chat why the hell his name is Dr. Crocodile, please explain it. I don't know.
Captain Britain to me, is he like an independent from like what is Captain?
Let me boost your score up really quick. And then I will explain Captain Britain before I forget.
Was like the fact that this had nothing to do with crocodiles. I don't know why that inconsistency made me be like.
That made me think it was fake. I was like, they wouldn't waste it on a cyborg.
They did.
Yeah.
So by the way, no one in chat has said an explanation as to why he's named this, so I guess there just isn't one. As for who Captain Britain is, Captain Britain is like very weird magic aligned. You would think he would be like the British equivalent of Captain America. He is not at all. He gets his powers from an amulet that Merlin gave him, and a lot of his stuff is like Arthurian mythology and reality warping and stuff. His brother is a reality warping villain that ended up fighting this guy. Captain Britain mythos is just, it is a lot to explain.
Is it like from an indie comic company? Or is it?
No, this is Marvel. This is Marvel. Everything from this episode, look, if I had to go into indie comics, I feel like that would be too hard to get a beat on the vibes for. So this show sticks to Marvel and DC for consistency. Yeah, this is Marvel.
Insane.
Good to know.
Okay, let me real quick take a quick evaluation of how many questions I have left. So I got 6 questions remaining. Some of them are weaker than others, though. I might move those towards the end. We'll see how long these next 4 take us, and then we can flex from there, and I can adjust scores or come up with a quick bonus round. But let's go ahead at this point and move on to the next one for the sake of time so we can hopefully get to all of them and go to Warlord Ka. The warlord known as Ka is a shadow monster from another dimension. His kind can manifest on Earth by possessing people's shadows, taking on a form similar to said person, and then being able to move around like that. Now, you might think that this is a kind of cool setup for a horror comic or perhaps some sort of mystery story, something spooky, but no, nothing like that. Ka possessed the shadow of all beings, Hulk, leading to a massive punch-out fight between the Incredible Hulk and his own shadow.
Isn't Ka the name of the snake from Jungle Book?
Is I have no idea. That's not my area of expertise. So
like this is because this does not sound familiar to me. But and then this also could be him making stuff up. But the spelling of Ka is like, this sounds fake. But then like the spelling of Ka, like the 2 A's, is making me think of Scar and like all these other characters. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay. I will say that like older Disney stuff is not my area of expertise. So that's
well, no, I'm not.
If you're trying to psychoanalyze based off of that.
I'm not talking about Jungle Book anymore. I'm just saying this spelling of Ka is making me think of. I don't know about this one.
Well,
I feel like,
James, you do have the hint, so.
I feel like they were constantly trying to find things for the Hulk to fight that were strong. So like his own shadow is really up that alley of like, what is gonna matter?
That does track.
That does make sense.
You always have to fight insane shit.
I kind of want a hint.
Yeah.
You want the
fun fact?
Extra fun fact? Okay. Both of you agreed on that. So, the Hulk thing actually caused second appearance. The first was in like a spooky horror mystery book, and then he didn't appear for a couple years, and then I guess Marvel's writers just said, fuck it, make him fight Hulk, I guess. So he was not made for a Hulk villain, technically.
I mean, that makes.
Though he is more known for that.
It doesn't seem like a thing that would be a Hulk concept. Like,
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You ready? Everyone else ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody says real, and therefore everybody gets a point. Warlord Ka is real. I very much like this picture of him. It's just
what the fuck?
Picture.
He's just.
I don't have a picture.
It'll be on the stream. Give it a second. Yeah, there's a slight stream delay. He's just a shadow of Hulk, basically.
Wait, but did he look like that in his first publication? Like his first appearance?
Admittedly, I don't actually know what he looked like in his first appearance. This is just what I think is the funnier picture. Sometimes if the pictures are funny or like more relevant, I'll show those instead because it's after you guys vote. But yeah,
he possesses different shadows, so I guess he would have a different form depending on.
Yeah, this is him. This is not his natural form. This is him as he appeared in his most notable appearance. I guess I'll phrase it that way. All right, again, for the sake of time, I will move on to the next one, which is one of the weirder names, but hey, most of the names have been weird, and this one's probably not weird in a way you're expecting, because it is Evil Deadpool. The uncreatively named Evil Deadpool stems from a concept that's not often explored in the Deadpool mythos. While he can heal, what happens to the parts of Deadpool that get cut off? Evil Deadpool is an amalgamation of Deadpool's lost parts, collected and stitched back together by an insane psychiatrist who was treating Deadpool at the time. Thanks to Deadpool's healing factor, the parts grew back together and became a viable, if horrible-looking, independent being that was even more unhinged than the original. The castaway pieces of Wade Wilson, Evil Deadpool! What are we thinking about that?
Wow. That sounds too fantastical to be fake.
Fuck. This one's tough.
We want a hint?
Yeah, you do get the hints, and the priority order has not changed.
What is the third hint, though? It's publication, fun fact, and what was the third
costume?
Visuals. I will describe what they look like. Probably, usually the least helpful, but hey, it helped with the slime guy, the virus.
Yeah.
It helped with the virus. You could pick it for this one if you want to know what this guy looks like.
I kind of want the fun facts. I feel like this could be any year.
Yeah.
All right, fun fact it is then. You might be wondering where the moral line is between Deadpool and evil Deadpool, because that's kind of a strange gray area, but the line is very defined. It is killing children. Normal Deadpool won't do that. Evil Deadpool was actively willing to and did try.
Wow. Okay.
Did that change anybody's thoughts on evil Deadpool?
I mean, no.
You guys are ready to vote?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Zora says real. Nathan and James both say fake. Zora is killing it. Evil Deadpool is real.
I didn't say anything. I know evil Deadpool. As soon as you said evil Deadpool, I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, it was one you knew. Okay.
The other thing I know is Deadpool comics.
Okay. This was one that a suggestion that I took from somebody that I know in my Discord, and I was like, you know what? This is a slightly more well-known one, but it's funny, and also the costume is just so what it is. So I kind of had to put him in here.
For the sake of time, I won't rifle through them, but I might have that somewhere over there.
Wow.
Someone in chat said he's one of the properties in Deadpool Monopoly, which
I don't have Deadpool.
I didn't know that existed until
Deadpool Monopoly.
right now.
Monopoly for everything.
That's what I was like. There is.
Okay. I shouldn't be surprised necessarily. Now let's see. We are at about an hour 25 minutes. I usually.
Well, I don't know how many questions you have left, but if it's less than any of us could reasonably catch up to Zora with.
I was about to say that, because what we're looking at here, we're at about an hour 25. I usually try to keep this tight to an hour 30, and this has been a very interactive episode, which I do like. Obviously, I like getting to talk to you guys more, getting your thoughts on everything. I have 4 more questions remaining. I don't think we're going to get through all those, because those will take a bit. So I'm going to pick my favorite 2 of them, and we will go with that. Because there's not high score territories right now, so we'll give you guys the bonus percentage. So we will do these remaining 2 if that is good with everybody.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. We will move on then to the weak link. The weak link has one of the saddest powers out there. Any plan that involves her fails. Doesn't matter the size or the scope of it. If she is involved, the plan will go horribly wrong, whether she wants it to or not. This does, however, make her useful to other people who want to take advantage of this curse. Specifically, she was at one point forced to disguise herself as another hero and use some gadgets to kind of simulate different powers, which she used to join the Doom Patrol, ensuring that all of the team's attempts to stop evil would fall flat.
First of all,
sabotage in human form,
so
the weak
sad.
link.
This is like worse than when Black Cat accidentally became a Jinx. This is just who you are as a person. Like,
that's crazy.
That's so sad.
Doom Patrol's got, I mean, I said that this is one where I kind of gave you one of the hints in the description, but Doom Patrol has, it's got some characters, man.
Doom Patrol makes me feel like it's real. This feels like a Doom Patrol character to me.
No, I feel like he gave it away too much, and he was about it. He mentioned it.
Wait, but we get a hint.
So yeah, you do get a hint. Which one of the hints do you want?
The fun fact, right?
Yeah, I think fun.
Fun fact then.
Sure.
All right, maybe not a super surprising one. The weak link actually did end up helping the Doom Patrol and kind of temporarily becoming an unofficial member, as in a sort of hard to follow twist. The villain's plan was to use her to sabotage the Doom Patrol, and by extension, that plan then involved her, which kind of cascaded and caused the entire thing to backfire in this grand catastrophe for them. So who's gonna win out then? Knowledge of Doom Patrol vibes or Psychoanalysis? Let's go ahead and vote if you guys are ready. All right. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Zora and Nathan both say real. James says fake. Fake. I love Doom Patrol. So I am able to decently emulate the vibes, and James picked up on that. So very smart. Maybe I'll do a bonus round or something. We'll see how this next episode. Okay, you know what? I'm making an executive decision as the host of this show for how this is going to go. We're going to do this next question, and if this next question ends on a tie, I will come up with some sort of quick bonus round tiebreaker.
Well,
and then we will end.
I don't know if you know this, but like if you're talking three-way tie, that's impossible.
Not three-way tie. No, if you guys want it, okay, you know what? We'll do this next question, and if people agree to want to share second place, then you can share second place, and there will be no losers. And now we are on to... I usually save my favorite for last, be it the stupidest and wildest idea I've come up with, or just something absolutely awful that I pulled from the annals of comics history. So let's go on to a name that probably won't be as surprising as I just talked it up to be, Ultron 18. While he may have only had one movie, there have been many iterations of Ultron in the comics, some far weirder than others. This particular version, the 18th iteration, took the form of a program that hijacked Tony Stark's armor and transformed it into the new Ultron, with Tony still trapped inside. Now that sounds fairly normal, and honestly, maybe like a pretty cool story concept. Here's the thing. For some godforsaken reason, this Ultron decided to take the form of a totally human-looking woman, meaning he essentially possessed Iron Man and gender-bent him like it was some sort of fanfiction.
Oh, that's it. That's all.
Ultron 18 is,
It's Tony Stark trapped in Ultron, but as a woman.
It's Tony Stark trapped in, you nailed it, actually. You do get a hint, Nathan and James. You have you can collab on which hint you want here.
I want to know the year for this one.
Sure, I'll take a year.
You want to know the year? This was in Mighty Avengers in 2007. So just briefly before the dawn of the MCU.
I'm ready.
Which might change your answers
I'm
here
ready.
A little bit. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody says real. Yeah, I didn't make this one up.
I did not.
There's no way in hell I would make this one up. It actually is even worse. The fun fact I'm going to go ahead and share on this one, and then I'm going to take this image off the screen for this show's rating.
Cool.
Specifically, it wasn't just a random woman. It was explicitly the form of Wasp. So Ultron basically captured Tony and turned him into a clone of Ultron's mom. It's the worst. I mean, it's bad, Ultron guys. It's really bad.
Ultron is a pretty Oedipus character in general because Jocasta, it's basically Jocasta rewrapped to be weirder somehow.
Yes. Oh yeah. Also, Luna added. You're right, Luna. I'm sorry. I should have. Yeah. It's his mom/wife.
Yes.
Love that.
Because Ultron is.
Love that.
Look, there's other versions of Ultron that I could also put in the show and might later. It's. They made Ultron kind of chill, cool James Spader guy in the movie. He's got problems. In the comics, he has problems. Now, we are at the minute 31 mark, but if we want me to slap together a bonus round really quick so that we can tie break between Nathan and James, I can do something. I got enough comics here. I can find something funny.
I'm fine with tied for second.
If you guys want to tie it second.
Happy to not be the loser.
Happy to not be the bottom loser, yeah.
Cool. In that case, that will be the end of today's episode of Canon Clash. Congratulations to Zora. Your 6.8 paid off.
Wow.
Your 6.8 paid off. Nathan,
so hot.
Nathan, though, I will say this. You still got, because remember, we only did 18 questions for time. So you both still got 50%, which is about the average that I shoot for. So it wasn't like you failed. You did good. Hey. Congratulations to everybody. Adjusted scores would be what, like 13, 10, 10,
something like that.
I'll do a percentage later if I go through, and I need to do like a score spreadsheet of this show for my own marketing purposes. I'll score adjust them. But point is, Zora, you are today's Canon Clash champion. Thank you to everybody for showing up. I will go ahead and, like we did at the beginning, give everybody a chance to plug their socials and things if you would like. So we'll go from top down again. Zora.
Hi, it's me, Zora again. Legend of Zora on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow me everywhere. I talk about movies, TV shows, sometimes books. And yeah, also I do makeup and stuff, so yeah.
And now you can add Canon Clash Champion.
Canon Clash
to your
Champion.
titles.
Yes, dorks.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of D and Dorks, great segue into Nathan.
I'm Nathan at Nathan_Apollo everywhere. I just dropped a song called Pretty Boy. So, you know.
Tell them about the song
Is it
you
on
dropped
Spotify?
before that.
It is. The song I dropped before, we don't gotta talk about the song I dropped before that. But this song's called Pretty Boy because sometimes I want to be pretty, and that's that. So go and check that out, and that's all I got going on.
Wait, it's Nathan Apollo?
Naethan, yeah.
Nathan_Apollo on all socials.
Gotcha.
And of course, D and Dorks, I'll take this moment to plug my show before we get to the third contestant. We have a D&D show that Nathan is on. Previous episodes of Canon Clash have had other people from that show. We are, I guess I can go ahead and say this, I believe in 2 weeks, not next week, but in 2 weeks, we're doing a D and Dorks Canon Clash special that will be Nathan versus Momo versus Mike with Panda.
Oh, yes.
So we are doing a special Canon Clash. Well, probably, presumably, as if Nathan is willing to try his hand at this show again. Watch our show on all platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on podcasting platforms, etc., etc. And now, James, if you want to plug your stuff.
James Beauty Baba Yaga on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I talk about Power Rangers and I do cosplay.
Woo!
All right, awesome. Final announcement from me. This show does have a YouTube channel. This one will be uploaded on Monday. Episode 4 is not uploaded yet because I have had horrible internet connection all week that just recently got fixed, and my internet would not stay stable enough for me to upload the 90-minute video. So I'm going to do that, and then this one will be uploaded by Monday, and hopefully the schedule will get stabilized from there because my internet is now working again, thank God. So I believe that is all I have announcements-wise. Thank you so much again to all the guests for coming on. I really appreciate it. Zora, congratulations. And we will see you next Saturday for another episode of Canon Clash.
Bye.
Woo!